Strength and coordination. Like we said earlier, there is a strong correlation between the two. To an extent, the stronger a person is, or the more all-around athletically in shape they are, the more likely they are to have good coordination. Being good coordinated requires a certain amount of strength to perform the various movements. When doing strength training, it can be easy to see someone getting better at the workouts and think that they might be getting stronger. This can come from natural increase. Bosch has a diagram in the book that shows how a person will naturally increase when doing lifts, simply because if they weren't used to doing the lift before, the more they get used to doing the lift, the more they master the form, the easier it's going to be to throw up some more weight with it. You will not experience actual hypertrophy until roughly 8 weeks in. It takes about 8 weeks to actually see a visual difference in the mirror if you're looking at yourself as far as muscles gaining mass and size. We move into strength training and transfer. This we're going to be talking about a lot about like modifying a workout. Like if there's a certain like workout somebody wants to do, but they're not necessarily strong enough to do it, we can modify it. For example, if someone's trying to do a pull-up and they simply cannot pull their body weight up, you can add a resistance band to it that will help pull them up and give them some assistance rather than just struggling to even get one off because they haven't gained that level of strength yet. You also see in the book it talks about gymnastics where these people are trying to get into certain positions, but they simply aren't strong enough yet, but they're trying to master the form, and so they have like these cables that will pull them up to help get them into example. So that way when they eventually get older or when they do get in more shape and actually gain the strength, that they'll already have the form ready to go down with it. But this all has to correlate with the your central nervous system stimulus, or else it needs to be something that's close enough that it will translate when the time actually comes. Like as we talked about earlier with the water example and someone running in water, Bosch talks about how that might not necessarily transfer over. Now, while we're doing all these workouts that are more sport specific, that can make it actually very hard to tell, is the person getting stronger at the same time? And Bosch says this is where you might want to incorporate your standard strength workouts. Like this might be a time where bench press would be all right. This might be a time where like doing a standard squat, even if it's not fully related to your sport, would be considered good. Because this makes it very easy to test a raw increase in strength. Now, he's not saying this should be the say-all, end-all of your workouts, but he thinks that this would be a good way just to see if they're making improvements in that aspect. And then as well as simply if they're improving on the field and they look stronger on the field, that'd be another way that you could tell.